I've prided myself on being a good writer, describing the affinities and nuances of the world with painstaking detail, long yet never lucid. Beating around the bush comes naturally to me, pinpointing the exact location of pain, bittersweet pleasure, never ending yearning, and carrying the regrets of all those dear to me, including myself. This is what I live for. A love for abstraction and ambiguity that never applies to the conscious choice of love. Loving is lucid, clear, enwrapped in brevity. Within it, the world is grey, clouded, and justified in all its unfairness. As I leave my hometown to start life anew, I know that I would consciously love, no matter how polluted, hot, or saturated it evolves to become. I will love the people it has given me, thinking about their routines, jobs, friends from afar, incessantly missing, even if I'm the one who is missed. To leave a space is to leave behind the potential ways in which it will grow and change to become unrecognizable. To leave a space is to leave behind a self that is innocent, at ease, and never living to survive or thrive, but merely living to exist. Delhi, you are my existence, the love I can never separate from myself, tolerating endless sulks, tantrums, and anxieties, the billowy release of a cry, the drenched tarmac of a long drive. Delhi, I love you.
Sometimes I feel I'm hanging on. And all these times we've had, now you're gone.
So it's been like almost a month since I am in a new foreign land, and 2 weeks since I've been here entirely by myself. And yeah, it's nice. It's interesting. I've been watching a lot of Eva Meloche, and that's why this has inspired me to like sit down and talk about feelings and talk about how I've been doing in this absurd place that I find myself in. It's not an absurd place, but it's just something that I never imagined myself doing. Like it's crazy how things just happen. Like 2 years back, I never imagined myself going abroad. Never imagined myself leaving. I imagined myself leaving, but I never imagined that it would happen so fast. But yeah, I thought that I'm gonna not talk about myself and talk about the books that I've been reading. And obviously, it's just to say that I've not been reading a lot. I try to, but I never am able to read like ferociously, like people, just read like 3 books in a month. I'm never able to do that. But yeah, on my way here, I finished Coco Meller's Cleopatra and Frankenstein, which honestly was the most interesting book in terms of my liking towards it. And I realized much later that it was supposed to be like a Sally Rooney kind of situation, and for most part of the novel I was not able to like the characters or resonate with them or see myself in them or find them aspirational. And I found that a lot of it was just like privileged people not realizing how privileged they are and not taking life seriously. Like, you can just go to therapy and try to solve your issues, but I felt like that was not there. Like, it was there, but like the struggles were real. I'm not saying that, but yeah, like the only characterization that I actually liked was Eleanor's, despite her being like the person Frank falls for while he's married to Cleo. Spoiler. I should have said that earlier, but yeah, whatever. But even though she's like the other woman, I loved her because she never acted on her feelings for Frank. She waited for Frank and Cleo to get separated and then she acted, and I think that kind of moral spine and humor and humility and just like the real the reality. I don't know how to say this, but I liked how real she was in the right sense, in the moralistic sense. And this is not to say that, you know, like I'm like I love the conventional good woman, but just to say that despite like her feelings towards Frank, she sort of chose sisterhood in with Cleo in a very, very passive sense. And the same with Cleo as well, like her love towards Zoe. And the more I read, actually, the more I realize how much I admire female dynamics than I do like male and female dynamics. Like, I love a good love story, but I do not like a love story that's problematic for like no reason. Like, I don't understand why books need to depict reality in a way that it ceases to be reality and it ceases to be like something that is forceful. Like, the most realistic depiction of a love story, if it comes to like Sally Rooney type of existential youthful writing, is her book Normal People, which is the most like detached yet involved kind of writing about love, which it is as we experience it in our 20s. It is detached, but it is exceedingly and overly and maladaptively involved, like in the case of Marion and Connell. But yeah, I had a tough time really loving the book, but I ended up loving it only and only because of Eleanor, and in the end I liked it only and only because of that one character. But yeah, the next book that I'm reading is yeah, the book means The Outsider. It was gifted to me by my best friend, and like as I was leaving the country it was gifted to me. And the book starts with like him describing his mother's funeral in the most detached and in the most appropriate way that I feel grief is expected, because of the entire like, not like, I don't know, I feel like I'm losing words. I feel like I'm using English words. Like the entire like shenanigans, I don't know, the entire noise, the entire chaos around like a funeral and when someone loses their loved one, and how you do not, it's like an official business. When it gets over, then it hits you, and when it's actually like the process of a funeral and the process of a loss is happening, you do not know what's happening, but then it just happens and it hits you out of absolutely nowhere. And I've yet to get to the part where it might or might not hit him, I don't know, but I really like, I'm only like 20 pages in, but I really liked the depiction of a funeral and how like tiresome and almost like detached it is with the person. I've not experienced a funeral like that, but you know, I have experienced it. But I like how it was represented in writing, because I know that's how the human brain works, in a way that you process things much later than when they're actually happening, especially grief. So yeah, I know that it's supposed to be like an existential, like the beginner course in existentialism, like the book, But I hope it's more than that, because I feel like I'm so like done with writing that's existential, Sally Rooney type of writing. Like, I need a break from that, because I don't think I want to do that while I'm in that phase in my life myself. But yeah, I did. So yeah, but like, I have like my favorite story, but again, I do not like, and I say my favorite story, I mean like the first story of the three stories in this book, which is honestly short story writing at its best. But I'm like done. I'm like done with that existential like feeling of life and death and relationships, and I kind of want a break, and I kind of want to like get into like um not toxic masculinity kind of books, but like books that are gonna help me in some way, like investment books or something. I don't know. I've seen my brother's bookshelf, and I kind of want to just like replicate that bookshelf into my actual life. So I'm gonna try and do that. But yeah, I'm going to a bookstore today, and I don't know what to expect. It's a secondhand bookstore, and I don't know what bookstores are here. But yeah, I'm going. It looks cute, but it looks cute in a very specific way. Yeah, not a fancy way, but a real way. I don't know what I'm saying, but yeah, let's go. I want to explore a bookstore, and I want to see how it is. So yeah.
You're not done. You just broke a bone. Hold up. You're not the one.
Last day of being 21, and yeah. I think I have no thoughts except like being extremely grateful for where I am. And it's like when you literally tangibly have the things that you've prayed for and you've worked for, and when you have them, and then also you kind of feel like, do I really have them? Do I really deserve them? Like, what am I supposed to do with them? And you kind of realize that, oh, they're gonna end soon, they're gonna like finish soon, and you're gonna have to like start thinking about the next thing you want to pray for and the next thing you want to work for. But I think today and tomorrow I kind of want to just like sit in with the things that I have with me, and not think about the things that I want or things that I have to work for, because I think that when you think about those things, it's like you're not being grateful. I don't know. But yeah, I feel like that. And the second thing, just be spoiled. I feel like now that I'm gonna turn 22, I can't think or I can't act in as carefree a way as someone who's like 21, maybe. I don't know. Just feel that that's like compulsion. I don't necessarily have to feel that way, but I just feel like that is a compulsion, I guess. But yeah, I don't know. Any resolutions that I would have, I think number one would be to see life as like a process, as like a combination of small bits as opposed to one huge thing. Like, I remember like a year or 2 years ago, I had made this um diagram in my book, like in my journal, about how you should spend your time, and I had just read like Julian Barnes' The Sense of an Ending, and I was like, what is the correct way to spend time? What, how, like, do you have like a series of mediocre events happening all across your life, or do you have like one bam and then boring, and then one bam and then boring? Or like, yeah, I just thought that, what's the correct way to spend your time, correct way to live life in terms of excitement and adventure and stuff like that? Like, what's the ratio of mundane to excitement? What's the ratio? But now I'm kind of realizing that it's like not mundane, not excitement, but like somewhere in the middle, and it's in the everyday. Like, if I want something 3 years from now, or if I want something 5 years from now, it's not like I'm gonna magically get it. It's something that I just have to sort of put into my everyday and sort of forget about, like not like just go crazy over, but just like think about it and be like, okay, maybe I need to do this to get there, and then just forget about it. Like, wire it into your unconscious. I don't know how that works, but I just want to live life like that. I want to like not be so anxious and so stressed about like the future and things like whether my future would be prestigious and valuable enough and just be in the present moment and read more, get like yesterday I watched Oppenheimer, and I realized that things like the world is so much deeper than we perceive it to be. Like, it's so much deeper than we perceive it to be. It's like it has like layers and layers to it, and I feel like reading and getting into a book is like one way of like grasping and measuring that depth. And I've not been doing a lot of it, trust me. I've not been doing any of it actually, and I want to get back into it. I want to like live life on the surface, like on at its face value, and not just be so caught up in an existential dread kind of vibe. But I also want to like feel the depth, I want to understand the depth, because I don't want to be afraid of the depth. So I think the only way that I'm not going to be afraid of it is by understanding it. So yeah, so 3 things maybe. Live life on the everyday, sit with what you're grateful for, sit with it, grasp it. Second, think and feel like you're still 19, but yeah, just juggle your responsibilities as a 22, as a 23, as a 24-year-old. And I think third would be read more to understand the depth of this world and of this universe, multiverse, whatever. And read so that you're not fearful and you're not scared of what this existence is all about. So yeah, I think these would be like my 3 resolutions on my last day as a 21-year-old, and I hope that I want to like really make these 2 days nice, and like no expectations. Like, even if I'm like in my bed, it's fine, it's good, it's good. Yep, I won't be in my bed but I don't know. But yeah. On this specific day, on my way back home from something that was way out of my comfort zone, that is, my first gig at adulting, I felt exceedingly, favorite word, existential. What I thought would be a rewarding evening turned out to be one full of thoughts about monetary value, the mortifying individuality of all those in a crowd, and endless calls with my family trying to figure out the answer to one eternal question: what is the point of it all? I felt myself listening to a lot of Radiohead, trying to decipher whether my thoughts were a result of a mind relatively free or rather perpetually exhausted. In a world made up of rocks, I found myself becoming a confused Sisyphus. I realized how every time I'm in transit, whether it's at the airport or traveling via public transport, I feel like I'm a part of a community that has so much more to offer than their jobs, or the kitchens they have to clean, or the bills they have to pay, or the mortgages they have to free themselves of. I felt the intrinsic misery of the human experience as I realized myself that I have grown up. The everlasting cost of increasing freedom that comes with age is the dwindling innocence of the human experience and the rising weight of the rocks one has to carry every day. Nevertheless, whenever I see someone reading a book on the train or staring out the window to catch the sunset, my heart warms a little and I am reminded of all the places yet to be seen, literal or fictitious, beyond the ambits of 9 to 5s, within the embrace of those I love and adore. In the end, one must imagine Sisyphus happy.